Middlesex lost their crucial Clydesdale Bank 40 match at Canterbury as they went down in a thriller to Kent by 2 wickets with just 3 balls to spare, a result which makes qualifying for the semi-finals now a huge ask. Neil Dexter won the toss and batted first, and after playing himself in for a couple of overs, David Milan got the innings moving with a flick to fine leg, bringing the first boundary of the match. His partner, Scott Newman, fell early, adjudged to have got a tickle off a ball from Azhar Mahmood. He was out for 11 at 23 for 1 in the 7th over. Against the spinners James Treadwell and Martin van Jaarsveld, the Panthers could only muster 29 runs from the 8 overs of the mandatory power play, but Milan didn't let the slow start concern him. He was playing an old-fashioned type of one-day innings, starting very watchfully before he began to open up. Paul Stirling was now in, and he plays in his own way, a very effective one, as proved by this shot, as Middlesex started to pick up the pace of their innings on a slow pitch. He was beginning to find his best touch with thumping strokes such as these. This pair was starting to put real pressure on Kent, and that pressure started to get to the home side. Stirling used the cut shot to great effect to again show what a good striker of a cricket ball he is. Milan has been known to save some of his best innings for when the TV cameras are present, and his knock was now developing nicely as he and Stirling brought up the 100 in the 17th over. Milan went to his excellent 50 off his 58th delivery, an innings containing 6 fours. It was now looking like a very good start for the Panthers. And it got even better as Milan struck the first 6 of the match, a match which Middlesex knew they had to win to keep alive their hopes of qualifying for the semis of this competition. It was a very big 6 too. It took an outstanding piece of wicket-keeping from Geraint Jones to get the breakthrough as Stirling was stumped off a leg-side wide bowled by Simon Cook. He was out for 45, made from just 41 balls. That left Middlesex on 130 for 2 at the start of the 22nd over, and the momentum was kept up when Dexter arrived at the crease. He used his experience against his former county to keep the board ticking over, and now a big total looked on the cards on a delightful summer's evening in Canterbury. He continued to take on the Kent attack as their captain switched his bowlers around. Van Jaarsveld used 8 in all in the 40 overs. With 7 overs remaining, Milan got to 3 figures for the first time in this competition of his 106th delivery. It was an innings of real maturity from the 23-year-old who put his side in a very strong position. His top 3 scores in this tournament have all come this season. With 5 overs left, Middlesex had a very healthy 239 runs on the board with just the 2 men out. That became 3 when one of a number of Yorkers from Wahab Riaz finally trapped Milan in front for a wonderful 107, but it was the start of a horrible collapse. Chris Rogers fell in the pursuit of quick late runs, skying a catch to Jones at 245 for 4 in the 37th. John Simpson tried to help Dexter on his way towards the end, but Riaz got him with a quick full delivery, leg before the decision. Dexter then fell in the same over as Kent threatened a fight back. Having made his 50 at quicker than a runner ball, Dexter heaved Riaz to long on and was held by substitute fielder Matt Coles to go for 58. Stephen Crook fell second ball, well held above his head in the covers by Treadwell off Mahmood. Now it was 260 for 7 with 10 deliveries to go. 2 runs and 4 balls later, Tom Smith gave Mahmood his 4th wicket with a catch at short fine leg. And the collapse continued into the final over when Jamie Dalrymple was another to fall to Riaz's Yorker. That gave him a 4th wicket too as the Panthers lost their way at the end. Indeed, they didn't even see out the innings as Toby Rowland-Jones went in similar fashion next ball. Middlesex had lost 8 wickets for 24 runs in the space of 27 deliveries to end with a total of 263 all out, Riaz taking 5 for 46. They would have expected to get at least 280 going into those last few overs. But Kent, like Middlesex, started slowly. Smith opened his spell with a maiden, but in the second over, Joe Denley swung him over the ropes as Kent tried to pick up the rate. With Rob Key missing with a wrist injury, Kent had given a chance to the England under-19 batsman Daniel Bell-Drummond. He took a while to settle his nerves before playing a shot in anger. Kent had 40 on the board after their 8 overs of the mandatory power play. Denley, so often batting with Key, was now very much the more experienced of the batsmen. He almost fell when he drove a ball close to Newman, but he too was now finding the boundary with increasing regularity. Kent were making a pretty good start to their difficult chase. Crook then broke this promising stand in the 10th over. Bell Drummond flicked the bowler off the middle of his bat, but found Rogers on the long leg boundary to earn the first wicket with a score on 51. Roland Jones came on, and importantly, he grabbed the wicket of Denley for 26, although the batsman was not best pleased with the LBW decision, which left Kent having to rebuild on 55 for 2 in the 11th. Kent then lost their third wicket in the space of 3 overs as Van Jaarsveld pulled Crook straight to Milan to go for a duck to put the Panthers well on top. The key wicket was the one of Mahmood, who's been there and done that in his career. While he was at the crease and playing shots like these, Kent was still in this game. He's been their most successful batsman in this competition this summer, and he's beginning to show it. Kent also had Darren Stevens, a dangerous customer with a well-known ability for hitting a big ball, and he did just that as he took on Roland Jones and struck him for successive boundaries, including this 6. There was nothing to choose between the two sides as Kent brought up their 100 in the 18th over, and if they could keep wickets in hand, then we had a very good game on, especially with this pair together and Mahmood clearing the ropes off Smith. At the halfway stage, Kent had made 125 for 3 and needed a further 139 runs to win off the last 20, but then Milan got the very important breakthrough. There was no doubt about this leg before decision, as Mahmood missed a sweep to go one short of a half-century to end the stand on 90. He went with a total on 146 in the 24th over before Stevens completed his 50 off his 42nd ball with 3 fours, 1 6 and plenty of running. Middlesex now needed him out. Stevens has hit more 6s than anybody else in this competition this summer, and he added to his tally of 29 by timing Milan into the crowd. Now 74 runs were needed off the last 10. Crucially, Stevens on 65 hit a Dexter full toss to Tim Murtagh at long on. The wicket came just at the right time for the Panthers. And they got another one in the 34th over. 51 were wanted off 37 balls when Crook took an extraordinary catch, diving full length in the deep to see the back of Jones for 5. Sam Northeast had been moving on serenely up to this point, but he now needed to make the most of anything on offer as he brought the target down to 43 off the final 5. Adam Ball is another one of those youngsters who enjoy situations like this one, and he kept his side in the game. Now just 23 were needed off the last 3 overs in what had become a nail-biting thriller. Crucially, it seemed, Roland Jones got the wicket of Ball, who'd made 19 off 13 deliveries, when he edged behind to put the Panthers a fraction ahead. But Riaz hadn't given up. It was his spell with the ball which had dragged his side back into this game, and now he took the target down to 15 of the last 12 deliveries. Then, unbelievably, Murtagh bowled a full toss which was parried over the ropes by Smith at deep mid-wicket for a 6. It took Northeast to a 50 off 43 balls. He was then put down for a second time 2 deliveries later by Crook at long on. The wheels had come off just at the wrong time, and it left Kent just 4 off the final over, even though Northeast was held by Dexter at backward point off the last ball of the penultimate one for a fine 57. But he'd done enough, and Treadwell saw his side home by 2 wickets with just 3 balls to spare. It was a bitter disappointment for Middlesex, who'd bossed this match for long periods in both innings, only to lose in a close finish. They now have to win their remaining 2 matches, but even that is unlikely to be enough to carry them through to the semis. But while there's a chance, the Panthers will still live in hope.